How you doing, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to MechWarrior Online with Scout. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 85-ton Stalker Inner Sphere Assault Mech, and an absolute legend, a staple of both tabletop, classic BattleTech, as well as really MechWarrior Online. This was one of the first assault mechs introduced to MechWarrior Online. Now, I've been wanting to cover this mech for a long time, obviously, because it's been around a while, but I haven't, and the reason I haven't is because those of you that have been with the channel a while will know I really started out as a light mech pilot, and one of my favorite targets to pick on were Stalkers because they didn't have lower arm actuators and they didn't have very good torso twists. And so in a Stalker, you were very vulnerable, and that always kind of made me leery of the mech. And I've come to find out that that's too bad, because as long as you stick with your team, this is actually a very fun mech to play. So I'm going to show you guys the build that I came up with the Stalker, which you can see here, and again, a Zeta Battalion Wolf's Dragoons paint scheme. More on that a little bit later, but I'll show you guys the build, and we'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll show you guys the skill tree, and then we'll get straight into some gameplay. So without any further ado, let's dive into the mech lab, and I'll show you guys the build I have for the Stalker. Alright guys, so this is my build for the Stalker, and I used a Stalker 3F because I wanted to use the classic Stalker. This is the Stalker from the 3025 TRO. It's the one I most commonly associate with the Stalker, the variant that I like the most. And what I was going for here was a mech that actually felt like a Stalker and went along with the reputation that the Stalker have, which is the ability to engage at almost any range and to be more deadly as the range closes with your opponent. Now, stock, this thing carried 2 LRM-10s and 2 large lasers, and those were its kind of long to medium range weapon sets. Now, what I've done here is I decided to go ahead and forego the LRMs and the large lasers, and kind of give up my very long range capability, because let's face it, you don't really fight at long range a lot in MechWarrior Online, and what I wanted to do was concentrate on that medium range, 600 meters or less to about 300 range, you know, where sometimes we get into trading a little bit before we close. And for that, I've chosen 2 MRM-20s, one in both the left and the right arm. What that does is that gives me more firepower than the mech had stock, and it gives it to me in a way that's cool. I don't have to depend on large lasers or ER large lasers or PPCs to do it. Dual MRM-20s are relatively cool. I can reach out and touch someone, and I have more firepower than the mech had stock. Now, I replaced the 2 large lasers that the mech had in the left and right torsos, one in each side torso, with 2 medium lasers. And other than that, I've largely kept it the same. It's got 4 additional medium lasers, 2 in each arm, a total of 6, and dual SRM-6 launchers, again, one in the left torso, one in the right torso. So you can see that this mech has not insignificant firepower at medium range. It can do 40 damage at medium range, and then as you get close, it's just going to get worse. Up to, if you get to within 300 meters of it, this thing can pump out 95 points of damage pretty easily. You see down here according to the firepower. In terms of other changes I've made to the mech, I did go to a light engine 300 because speed is life in this game. If you're slow, if you're moving out at that stereotypical assault mech speed of 48.6 kilometers per hour, or 54 kilometers an hour rather, yeah, you're just not going to make it. So I've gone with a light, and I upped it to 300, and of course I've also gone to double heat sinks, enough to keep me fairly cool. You can see I've got a heat management of 1.32, and I really like this build. I'll actually open the missile bay doors in the arms when I start, and I'll follow the team, get to a place where I can kind of get hull down, because we've got very high mounts for the medium lasers and the missiles in the arms. And I'll try to do some early damage with the MRMs. And then as the team closes with the enemy, I will actually close the missile doors, go in, and start laying with all of this, just laying into whoever I can find. And I find that it's just a great build. It really feels like a Stalker, and it is a lot of fun to play. So let's take out the skills tree. I'll show you guys the skills that I've picked, and then we'll get into the gameplay. Alright, so here's my skill tree for the Stalker. Now, obviously, All of our weapons are either laser or missile based, so that's where I focused here in the firepower tree. I focused on missile spread and missile rack. Again, to concentrate the damage, bring it closer together so it doesn't spread all over the mech so much, the opponent's mech. And also, obviously, I wanted more shots. More shots is more damage, so I picked up both the missile rack nodes. Other than that, I went with the 4 laser duration nodes, and then everything else is pretty common sense. As much heat gen as I could pick up, a little bit of range here and there, and I did pick up a little bit of velocity just to help my missiles get to their targets that much faster. Next, I invested a lot into the survival tree because obviously mobility is not going to be a strong point of an 85-ton Stalker, so you're going to need some armor to survive. So I went all the way down the left side, picked up as much armor hardening as I possibly could, rather. And then once I had done my other points, I actually came back to this tree and picked up a little bit more armor hardening, shock absorbance, and skeletal density on the right side of the tree. So no points in mobility and jump jets, obviously, but I have invested 20 points into the operations tree to get the full cool run and full heat containment, because this thing will get hot if you start ripping off everything. And because you're a slow assault mech, you don't really have the speed or maneuverability to get out of an engagement if it's bad. All you can do is fight your way out of it. And to do that, you need armor, obviously, and also you need heat capacity, the ability to shoot your weapons without overheating. So that's why I went ahead and dumped those 20 points into the operations tree. Sensors, we got 9 points here. This is just my standard radar deprivation, 60%, to try and help me get away from missiles. Again, I'm not fast in this mech, so the sooner I can break that lock, the sooner I have a better chance of getting away from those missiles. So that's why I picked those up here, and I think they're important. And I've gone with my standard 2 cool shots and 1 artillery strike in the auxiliary tree. And that is it for the skill tree, folks. So that's my build for the Stalker 3F. Again, just trying to replicate something that really feels like an old school classic Stalker. And I think this works really well. Let's dive into the gameplay, and I'll show you guys what I was able to pull off in the Stalker.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
Alright, we got a skirmish on Hibernal Rift, so I don't know how much chance I'm going to get to talk about history. This normally kicks off pretty quick, but I'll try to squeeze it in here. So the Stalker was built by Triad Industries, and it was really a product of the reunification war. The first prototype completed production in 2594, and actually the early models of the Stalker were really not that well armed, but the field tests of the prototypes showed that the targeting systems could handle a wide variety of weapons. So as a result, the Stalker was equipped eventually with far more weapons, yikes, than it could carry, and that's how it got that huge wide array of weapons as out of the initial testing. Upon selecting a target, right, the targeting computer of the Stalker was really advanced for its time, and it would select a suite of weapons based on the range and the current heat of the mech, and you just had to hit fire, and it was basically doing a lot of the work for you. Look at this king crab right here. Let's see if we can put them down a 100-ton mech early. Yeah, no, that's getting to be a bit much. Yeah, we should probably get out of here. Maybe, okay, they got him, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move. I thought about trying to shoot through that little gap there, but that's clearly not gonna work.
Target acquired.
What we need to do is get back up here and rejoin with the team, and then try to set up a firing line looking in the low ground there, but we gotta watch out for these mechs here and make sure they don't come over the top and get into our flank. That light's not pushing us, so what we need to do is move up here and see if we can shoot down. No, I don't want to go too far forward.
Strike online.
My team looks a little indecisive. They're pulling back. Okay, here we go. Have some of that, sir. That is an unhappy roughneck, but it looks like I'm running out of friends, so I need to back up here. Maybe we can go over and shoot down on them. Looks like half the team's rotating and half of them are not, so this probably isn't going to end well, but if we're going to do this, we need to go and not dilly-dally. Look out, Mr. Shadowhawk.
New target
Move, move,
acquired.
move, move, move. You gotta go if you're gonna do this.
Target spotted.
Here's where the arms will come in handy.
We're
Artillery strike
experiencing some losses.
online.
Don't get sloppy
Target
out there.
destroyed.
25% of the enemies
Picked
are
up the kill on
eliminated.
that Zeus. It's 3 and 3.
Target
We need
acquired.
to keep rotating quick because they're coming around behind. Except for that guy that's lagging back there behind us in Bravo 5. Yeah, get bent. Where's the rest of my team? Come on, guys. Move, 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 move. There we go. We got a little bit of help here now. Had to be careful not to shoot him in the back.
Target spotted.
He's going to get away. Nope, wait, maybe not. Ah! Right over his head.
New
Oh,
target
hello.
acquired. Heat level critical.
Do a coolant flush here and see if we can keep rolling. Eee. Now, if I go out there into the middle of those mediums, that's probably not going to end well for me. Oh, and here they come right behind us.
Any more soldiers?
This is what I talked about. Now we're trapped in the middle.
New target acquired.
This probably isn't going to end well. Oh,
Artillery
hello.
strike activated.
Put our artillery. Oh, Jesus.
MRM destroyed.
Apparently everybody suddenly died.
Center torso.
Oh, well. 654 points of damage. That's not bad.
Taking critical losses. We need you to fall
They just flat rotated better than our team did.
Center torso.
Excuse me.
Damage.
Rotated and stayed together better. So, what are you going to do?
Right
But,
torso
yeah, due to
destroyed.
that wide array of weapons and the really advanced targeting computer, at the time that it was produced, the Stalker actually represented the height of battle mech technology. So, it's actually really, really cool. And, I'll have to finish up the history of the Stalker because it looks like we just lost this one 6-12. At least it wasn't a complete stomp. 1 kill, 4 assists, 654 points of damage. Not bad. It's just unfortunate we didn't get a chance to keep rolling because we started out strong and just didn't finish well. And you can see here that it was really a fairly even game. They just rotated better than we did. So unfortunate, but we'll load it back up, get another shot, see what we can do.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Fleet command coming in. Capture the target area and engage any hostiles.
All right. Domination on Polar Highlands. This should be interesting. If we can use the high mounts for the MRMs and the medium lasers, it might go well. Otherwise, it might go poorly. The good thing is we'll at least get to finish talking about the history of the Stalker. So I was telling you guys that it was the targeting computer in large part that made the Stalker really such a great mech, at least in the canon and the fluff, because of how advanced it was in it. At the time that it was produced, talking about mechs here just a second. What do I want to say? Don't like it. So anyway, at the time that it was produced, the Stalker actually represented the height of battle mech technology, if I can speak at the time. Sadly, few original targeting systems actually survived the secession wars, but even without them, the Stalker was a fearsome mech in the hands of a capable pilot who could manage the heat and all the different weapon systems that it had. The Stalker did have other issues, though. According to the fluff, the original chassis, like we talked about, it didn't have very many weapons when it was built, and it was never meant to support the massive weapons array that the Stalker actually ended up with. So the result was that the excess weight caused excessive actuator and component wear and failure over time. And so a common solution for this was to actually remove weapons from the Stalker and leave it as is. The interesting side effect of that was it created actual cannon variants that there were mech sheets for that were lighter. So you actually had 70-ton Stalkers running around, and the idea was that it was fluff driven in order to reduce the wear and tear and failure on the actuators and the various component parts. So it's the only mech that I know of that actually has variants of different weight class. Like the Stalker is an 85-ton assault mech, but there are 70-ton heavy mech variants of the Stalker as a result of that wear and tear.
New target acquired.
Nonetheless, the Stalker was an immensely successful design, and it served actually as the backbone for heavy cavalry regiments in all 5 successor states across the
New
entirety
target
of the
acquired.
inner sphere. Even though it did have some
Target
limitations,
spotted.
right? It doesn't have lower arm actuators, it has limited torso traverse, and still, though, it was an incredibly popular mech. Like one very successful tactic with the mech is in urban environments. Oops, sorry, dude. In urban environments, they would lure the enemy into a street, and the stalker would
Need
be on the
assistance.
next
Target
street
spotted.
over behind
Target spotted.
buildings, and then it would just go forward, ram all the way through the building, knock out the other side, and then erupt at point blank range and just fire all those medium lasers and SRM6s at point
Target
blank range.
acquired.
And it was just a devastating mech as long as it was properly supported. And speaking of famous pilots, one of the most famous Stalker pilots during the Secession Wars was Colonel J. Elliott Jameson, who was the commander
Target
of
spotted.
no less a unit than Zeta Battalion, the Assault Mech Battalion of Volks Dragoons that we talked about in the Marauder 2 video. And he drove his Stalker a lot like that. He would literally just charge straight
Artillery
towards the
scanner
enemy,
online.
just ram into them, knock them down, fire all of his close range weapons into them while they were down, and then stomp on them if he needed to. He just used the Stalker like a living battering ram. And the TRO goes on to describe how his mech was,
Rolling incoming
it's
missile.
just covered in scars and gouges, but it was fully operational. And he was just used it as a battering ram, and that's kind of the motivation behind this build and why I
New
painted up
target
the way it did.
acquired.
We just need somebody to lead the charge because it is still an 85-ton mech. You really want an Atlas or something like that to go with you, and then you support him with all the weapons
New
that you have. And
target
speaking of, is he
acquired.
gonna go? Okay, he's backing up. He's not gonna go yet.
Need assistance.
But you can see how we're using the high mounts here and the
New
MRMs to
target
just
acquired.
peek over and get some shots. And I think I just rocked in front of that dude. I'm sorry, guy. And we're just biding our time. And when these Atlases go, if they choose to go, we'll go with them and provide. The firepower
New
is really
target
the big
acquired.
point of the sites. He actually gonna, he's gonna go. He's gonna go. We gotta go, gotta go, guys. There, Bell. Come on, get out of the way. Both our Atlases are going. Gotta push. And this right here is what the Stalker was built for. Let's see if we can put some of those guys in
New
the
target
distance, make them dip their
acquired.
heads down, stop shooting at our Atli. And what do we got here? Annihilator
New target acquired.
and another Annihilator. We just lost the first Atlas.
Heat level critical.
Use a coolant flush. Come on. Oh, that was a terrible
Target
shot. We got to put this guy
acquired.
down, make this
Heat
worth it.
level critical.
Unfortunately, the rest of the team did not follow up the way they should have. Otherwise, this would have been absolutely glorious. We're going to keep moving back and forth.
Need assistance.
Try to take this Annihilator down. There we go.
New target acquired.
Now we're going to back up a little bit. Try to get out of this mess. Get into the slow ground just off here to the left. And I don't know what the rest of the team is doing. Looks like they're still on the back side of the hill. Let's see if we can make this Archer get down. SRMs were just a little bit short. We got a break line of sight. What is this guy doing?
Center torso.
He's just YOLOing straight in. He's gonna take my torso though.
Left arm critical damage.
He did. He got my right torso and it made me shut
Right
down.
arm destroyed.
Let's see if I'm gonna get to live through
Left
this.
torso
Oh, just
critical
barely.
damage. Medium laser destroyed. SRM destroyed.
Take that. See if we can get this
Weapon
Black Lantern down.
destroyed. Heat sink destroyed.
Oh, look out. There we go. Picked up a third kill. Let's see if we can get a piece of this Archer we were on earlier. A bunch of streak SRMs. We really need to get him down.
Critical.
He's chasing the light because he has lock. Aww. Only 433 damage, but we did get 3 kills.
New target acquired.
Yeah, look at this. We got a ultraviolet at 90%. Didn't even come over the hill. Fortunately, because he is at 90% and it's 6 and 6, and we put a kicking on a lot of those mechs, I hope we have enough left of the team to carry us through and get the win. We'll see here shortly.
New target acquired.
When that light push,
New
you gotta go,
target
guys.
acquired.
Oh, I hope this turns into a win because I really feel like we had a good push going. We just
Target destroyed.
didn't have enough
New
support.
target acquired.
So yeah, that's anyway, getting back to what we were talking about. J. Elliot Jameson, probably the most famous soccer pilot. I mean, he used the thing the way it was meant to be used, just like a walking battering ram. Uh, and that's kind of how I built this mech. You know, use your MRMs, soften them up, and then just go in like we did there with our 2 Atlases with us, and just waste people with all that firepower. And yeah, that's really the history of the Stalker, what it was famous for doing. So you saw it
New
work there,
target
and
acquired.
now we'll see if our ultraviolet here.
New target acquired.
It looks like by the time I finished typing, that heavy mech turned around, but
Target destroyed.
I thought they were going to chase
New
us
target
after that general, and
acquired.
they were. Did you see the general was
Target
leading them right out of
Command is
the
happy to hear of
domination
your
zone?
success
So,
and achievements on
but
the surface.
fortunately, we pick up the kill, and it was a lot of fun. It's unfortunate that our team didn't come with us, but that little brawl we had there next to the domination point, that was a lot of fun, and that's kind of the uh, like at the heart of the Stalker's identity as a mech. So that was a good game, even if we didn't get to live quite as long as I would have liked. We did all right. We did all right in terms of score. So let's boot this up one more time, and I'll play one more game for you guys in the Stalker 3F.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource points. Stop any hostiles that get in your way. They've taken Epsilon.
All right, guys. I'm going to try one more time to get a really epic game in the Stalker. I feel like we're right there. It's just nothing goes my way. You know, we get a good push and the guys don't come with, or we have a good game but we just get
Resource point
out
data is
NASCAR'd
stored.
by the enemy. I don't know. It's just, I'm really happy with how the mech's performing so far, and I feel like I'm really
Enemy
close to getting a
forces have
really
Sigma.
epic game. So we're going to try it one more time. And we have one of my favorite maps, actually. Forest Colony Classic. I love this map.
Command confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
So I'm hoping we can do well here. I had a lot of great times on this map in my Jenner when I first started
Target
playing. Hello. Oh,
Artillery
just out of
strike
range.
online.
I was only off by like 15 meters. That's not bad for eyeballing it. I like to come right up here and peek. And that is an unhappy, I think it was a Fafner. The ECM variant, I'm not sure. I think he came off worse in that trade though. So we'll just keep peeking right here. I think I see somebody. No, apparently not.
New target acquired.
There's a little ridge right over there. They're kind of behind it, trying to catch the top there. Didn't get it. And then if you follow that ridge, they kind of come out. There's another little hill there right in front of us. And I think they're all dodging in and out of there. Yeah, some good hits there. Excuse me, had to sneeze there. I'm quite happy to keep working this spot right here. Got a little bit in there. I wish my friends weren't so far forward. I feel like they've kind of gone too far forward, because where they're at, there's not really a lot of cover. You can hide kind of at the edge of the ridges that poke out into the river, but if they push you, you have no cover, no place to go back
New
to.
target
Which is why
acquired.
I'm staying right here where I actually have cover. That was a good hit there, I think.
Artillery strike online.
Missed me. Oh, apparently I missed him too. But it looks like we're going to have to move up, because I think they're going to get pushed here in a second if they're not getting pushed already. We used the opportunity there while he was shooting at our friend to dash across here. In so much as you can dash in a Stalker anyway. What we need to do is gather up right here and push right into that draw where that guy's walking up right now. Just got to make sure we don't get slammed by anybody off to our left. Okay, nobody there, so we should be good. This Annihilator needs to push straight
New
forward
target
and turn
acquired.
hard left and go. We need to go straight in here. Come on, guys. We're already down by 3. We can't dawdle anymore.
Acquired.
Get behind me.
Target destroyed.
I don't know what it is, but
New
it's dead.
target acquired.
There's that Fafnir. Hello, Annihilator.
New target acquired.
Halfway to victory.
Excuse me.
We need to keep holding on
Let's see
to
if we
our
can get this
resource
Fafnir
points.
down here. No, that is a Hellspawn, but... Or Hellbringer, rather, but maybe. Yep. Hellbringer down. And this guy looks like he's going to push
New
us.
target acquired.
Archer. Bunch of SRMs. I think this guy was in the last game. Oh, he's down. So there's 3 kills in rapid succession, and I think they're coming around the left side. Yep, there's a, what is that? Ow.
Missiles.
Sorry.
Override engaged.
That's a Naborian and a Huntsman with ATMs. Fantastic. And I suspect he's not over there alone. We might need, I don't know, I kind of want to go over here and underrun his ATMs, but at the same time, I think they've wrapped around since we started killing them there. And I'm kind of concerned that I'm about to walk into a bunch of bad guys.
Left torso critical damage.
Oh, shit.
Warning,
That's the same Black Lantern.
missile.
Just suiciding in.
Destroyed.
Seems to be working for him.
Critical.
And, oh man, we got heat problems galore. They're all right here, like we were just saying. I'm just gonna go for broke. See if I can at least kill this Black Lantern.
Left torso destroyed.
Come on.
Left arm destroyed.
Come on.
Center torso critical
I lost that
damage.
torso and it really did
Left
me
leg critical damage.
poorly for my heat dissipation. Yeah. Killed myself overheating. We did get 652 points of damage and 3 kills though. I mean, that's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, well, that explains it. It's already 11-5. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Almost there.
It's just,
Final point.
again, guys are just being way too stationary there.
Large
Sitting
laser
out there in the river
destroyed.
with no cover, and they just got
Heat sink destroyed.
flanked, outmaneuvered, and crushed. I mean, hey, this is a good game for us. Not a great game for the team, but a good game for us anyway. I don't know why this dragon's running around like a lunatic. I mean, game's over, dude. But anyway, I've been having a lot of fun with this Stalker, guys. I can't get a great win. I get mediocre wins or great games that turn out to be losses, but still, it hasn't bothered me at all. I've been having a lot of fun with this Stalker, so I think I'm gonna call it a day. But I hope you guys have enjoyed these last few games because I've had a ball, and this is a mech that I will definitely continue to play. So awkward silence while we wait on this thing to finally catch up. Oh yeah, they're gonna have to do the cap thing because they're way behind. All right, I think I might do a little cut here. Stand by. There we go, guys. Save us a little awkward waiting. And yeah, once again, we did all right. But unfortunately, the rest of the team didn't. 3 kills, 1 assist, 652 points of damage, 1 solo kill, 1 kill most damage dealt. And yeah, we had almost a Lance that just didn't even show up. So I don't know. What you gonna do? Still, again, I'm enjoying the mech. And hope you guys enjoyed that game. That was actually a lot of fun right up until the very end. All right, guys. So there you have it. 3 games in the 3F variant of the Stalker. For my money, I think this is a great mech and a great build, guys. I had a lot of fun with this, particularly in a meta of 90 to 100 ton assault mechs, dual heavy Gauss, and those types of things. Like, this is something that it actually worked. It felt true to the narrative to me, to the fluff of what a Stalker should be, and it actually works. It works fairly well. I think you guys have seen that in those games I did well and had just a few other things got my way, just a little bit more luck, if you can say that. I could have had a breakaway game. But the 3 I showed you are actually pretty typical of the games I get in the Stalker, and it's a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't tried a Stalker yet, or if you're looking for a Stalker and you want to do something new, or you would like to build a Stalker that's fairly close to the canon of what a Stalker is, I encourage you to give this thing a try. I think you will have a lot of fun with it. I certainly have. So with that, folks, I'm going to call this video a wrap. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. It's always great to hear from you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.